Hello and welcome along and welcome back to a very wet day here on Charwell. We are going to have a look today at what's going on with field 45. We had some problems last time, we couldn't lime it. So today we're going to go and try and plough it. So we're going to spend a little bit of time today with this tractor and getting some ploughing going. We also need to get, I don't want a seed today, but we do need to get a seeder. So later on, I think we're going to be seeing if we can go and buy a seeder and a couple of other bits. But first, yeah, we're going to go and take the plough and the axe in here and see if we can go and have a go at field 45. So let's lift this up. Now, can we turn this round? Hopefully without hitting our JCB. The other thing I want to do today is I want to change the weight, or at least change the colour of the weight on the front of the JCB. Because that yellow is a tad garish for that. I've also been trying to fix the issue with that JCB. The default in-game JCB has the ability to change the type of steering on it. So whether you do sort of crab or front wheel only, or things like that. Whereas and the 25th anniversary mod, the one that you can't change the silver on, that also has that. Whereas that one, I seem to be completely unable to change the steering setting on it. So there's something odd with it. However, going through that mod, I cannot see where the error is. And nothing comes up in the log file. So there is something there that's a problem. Right, field 45 is in here. And we want to see if... So let's turn off those. When we do this, we want to see if this field will actually plough. So here is a pretty good, pretty straight edge to work on. Let's give this a go, and down we go. And yeah, this field does actually plough. Now, we don't have create fields on, I don't think. Nope, we don't have allow create fields on. So yeah, what's happening with this is actually it's able to plough this field. So I don't quite understand what's going on with this. So the next thing I'm going to do is we do have GPS on this tractor. So let's set the first point on that. And then when we've gone far enough, we'll set the second point. We will auto width. There we go. And away we go. So that now should follow this path here. And when we turn around, we should be good as well. Yeah, it's slightly off the edge of the field, but that's okay. This will straighten up overall. And we should then be in a position where we can just GPS our way through the rest of this field. Yeah, it's not overly showing how it goes, but that is working an absolute treat. So I'm going to play around with this tractor for a little bit, I think. And then once we got our way across the field, there's not as much field here as I think it initially looks. We can go and have a look with JCB and maybe get ourselves today something that will be able to go and plant stuff once this rain stops falling. So we're making good progress on this field now. We might be about a quarter of the way through. It's doing it at this angle is actually quite good in that it's it means that the field is getting smaller and smaller the further across it we go. I have no idea what was initially up with this field. So we know two things that we know are that we can't lime it, or we couldn't lime it in its previous state. And we are also unable to... it didn't detect it as a field. Now, I can only think something messed up with seasons on the field, because it looks planted. So the texture that we have on here is the planted texture. But if you bring it up on the F1 menu, let's get this started and get this on course. And yeah, and we'll go and have a look in the F1 menu here. Not the F1, sorry, in the escape menu. We can see here that it doesn't have anything marked on it. No fruit types, nothing like that. It's not marked as cultivated. It's not marked as planted or anything like that. It is just a blank field. So I'm guessing there's something up with the setting on this. I think we would probably find the same thing on field 4 or field 2 if we went and did those. So it's a little bit odd from that point of view, but I think that's why we couldn't spread any lime on it, because it doesn't actually have a field state, which is odd for a field like this, for an arable field. Grass fields quite often don't have field states, but yeah, this certainly is a little bit of an oddity, and I think that's what's been causing it. Courseplay wasn't able to detect where the end of the or where the edge of the field was, and therefore didn't do that. And as far as the other was concerned, or the line was concerned, there wasn't a ground state here for it to be lined, so it wasn't able to do it, which is, yeah, just a little bit odd. But this should sort this. Ploughing this means we should be able to throw lime on it, and then we will we'll basically go and directly seed on top of the lime. Not the ideal way that I'd like to do it, but it will get the job done. Now, we're probably going to switch this tractor for the JCB. We know the JCB will handle this plough quite nicely, but we're looking to get seeders that require a little bit more power. Certainly our main seeder will require a little bit more. Well, it won't require so much power. Both our tractors should be able to do our main seeder. Our secondary seeder, the planter that we've got to get, because in order to do the pigs effectively, we're going to need corn. That will require closer to 300 horsepower for what I plan to get. So the downside to that, of course, is that we'll only need to use this. I'm actually slightly tempted to get two 12-meter seeders. They might be a little bit oversized for this map, but I think in both cases that isn't a horrible thing. We would have to use this tractor for both of them as a result. The only thing that worries me slightly is that if we go for an 8-meter seeder, then we won't have to borrow much money to get both of them, whereas we'll probably have to borrow about 50,000 to get two 12-meter seeders. So let us know in the comments, what do you think? What size seeder do you think would match this map quite well? I'm intrigued, and if you have a particular mod, if you know of a seeder mod that would work quite well here, let us know that with that as well. Should say I've downloaded the Vatterstad one that does both 6 and 8 meters and has the tram lines on it. Whoop. There we go. So I do have that mod if you want to suggest that one. And is currently my front runner for our seeder. But yeah, let us know in the comments. What do you think? We're about halfway through the field at this point, and we're beginning to have to negotiate the island that we've got in the middle of the field here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sort of plough up to it, and then what we'll do afterwards is we'll circle round it in order to make sure we get it. So a bit like doing the headland on the rest of the field. We've got some patches on this headland that we've not quite got, but for the most part we're up to the edge. We will be the same on the island. We'll have to pull it up as close as we can, and then go from there, right, and down, and work it that way. I've also been thinking about our farm in general. So we have 9 fields on this farm. We've got 6 arable and 3 grass. Now what I think I'm going to do, lots of people last time suggested that field 29 would be a good place for us to expand and maybe increase the size of our farm. And I agree with this. I think that is going to be a really good idea. There was also a fantastic British farmhouse mod released in the last day or so. So I think we're probably going to use that on there. We will probably put in a third barn in, because the 2 barns we've got aren't overly easy to get into, especially for a combine. But we'll look at that. We're definitely going to put a grain store in. So we've got lots of options and lots of stuff we want to do into field 29. So that is going to be really good. The other thing is, with seasons, when it comes to winter, we need stuff to do over winter and winter crops. Now, 83 and 44, one is a grass field, the other is an arable field that we've already limed. I think both of those 2 fields are a perfect place for us to look at doing some poplars. And maybe we will get hold of a tree planter and put some poplars in there. And then when it comes to the winter months, we should be able to harvest those at that point. And I think we might try and use the Andersen baler, something that I've not used for a while. Oh, we don't want to turn that. Something I've not used for a while, not since it came out really. So I think that would be a great piece of kit to bring back, and see if we can make some money from 2 fairly small fields. And that then takes 3 fields off. We need to then look at field 19. So field 19 at the moment is a grass field. I think likely a best scenario for us, as we're not needing to do or wanting to do any grass work, is to make that into an arable field and go from there with that. So I think that will be a really, really good way for us to move forward. Yeah, and that then basically is our layout for our farm. We may even see if we can add a horse paddock or something like that into field 29. As I said, I want to build not just an extension to the farmyard, but a house for us, and a new starting point. I will be at some point going through and showing you how to remove the spawn point or the sleep point that is immovable on this map. It will be something that also applies to maps like Greenwich Valley and Oakfield as well. So the same technique will work on there. It's PC only, unfortunately, but yeah, I want to get that up because lots of people asking, how do you remove a sleep point you can't sell or a house you can't sell? And I can show you that, yeah, in the XML. It's an XML change in your save game, and yeah, fairly simple one at the end of the day when you know what you're looking for. So right, we are gonna crack on with this, see if we can get the other side of here. It is now 1 PM in the afternoon, and yeah, I think we're going to have this ploughed today. It's just we're going to have to get cracking with the seeding next time. or it's going to be really late in the year and really bunched up when we have to do all of our harvest, and we don't really want to be in that position. So we've finished round the island. We're on to sort of the last quarter of the field. I went round and did the headland bits, and yeah, that has seemed to work quite well. We are in a really good position here. There's not much of this field left. It's all sort of getting smaller and smaller all the time as a result, which is really, really good news. And I'm hoping that we're going to be in a position where we've finished this in the not too distant future. Should run quite well as a result. And yeah, once we've got this field finished, what we can do next time is we'll get this limed. We'll use the JCB to do that. And then with that done, we'll be able to go and use the JCB to go and plough our remaining fields. And hopefully we'll get started with some seeding with this tractor, which will be good news. We've got a lot of seeding to do. As I mentioned earlier, we're basically looking at having 6 arable fields. We're going to have 4 crops across it. So we're going to have wheat. We're going to have wheat. I think we're going to do probably canola. I think we'll go for sunflowers because it's not a crop I do very often, and corn. Now, both sunflowers and corn we're going to have a second seeder for. But wheat and canola we can do the same one. The alternative to sunflowers is to do soybeans. So yeah, if we did that, we'd be in a position where we could get most of the stuff seeded with just one seeder, and then maybe just rent or hire for the second seeder. Having said that, it's cheaper to get the loan out per day for the to do that than it is to lease one. So yeah, I think there's going to be a load of stuff for us to have to look at there. There's going to be some interesting choices to make. But for now, I think we're going to continue on. We're going to get this field done so that we can be finished off. It is 20 past 4. So yeah, this job is going to take us the rest of the day. But once it's done, and this field will be sorted. And the mystery of this field will be complete. Onto the last little fiddly bit of the field now, and yeah, just the round bit here. Then we're going to do the headlands. We're going to go around the edge. We're going to go up to the top corner and get that done. But this is yeah, this has gone fairly smoothly. This tractor has performed really well. I do like this mod. I do like this mod a lot. It looks good. It works well. It's just all round really nice. And yeah, we're gonna keep going with this on here. I think should be brilliant as our bigger tractor on here. So with the JCB in support, should be really useful. Right, I think looking at this, we can probably get the headland done. So we'll switch this round. I'm gonna turn and head up to the top corner. So if we head round here and take this up the top. Now you can see what I mean by this is a gorgeous looking tractor. I've kind of fallen in love with this. I've never really worked much with class tractors, but this one I really, really like. And I'm not a fan, actually I'm not a fan of tracked tractors normally either. So it's a bit of an odd thing for me to both like a tractor from a brand I'm not normally a fan of, along with the fact that it's a tracked version of a tractor. Having said that, at Agritechnica I really loved the 8RX as well. That is a very sleek, very interesting looking tractor. So yeah, I can't wait to see if either I think Sid might have been making a mod of that, but certainly I'd expect to see that in FS21 eventually. That would be really cool to have that in the next iteration of the game. This is yeah, this is clearing up okay. We're not leaving any big bits, which is really good news. And we are about halfway around the headland that we're going to do. So bring it back. Now, field 40, interestingly, field 42 is only just the other side of this. The other side of this hedge. In fact, field 41 is just the other side of this this hedge, which is an interesting couple of fields because they are right next to our yard. And I for some odd reason I didn't consider that. But yeah, there we go. So yeah, one of the things I do like about this map, a couple of people have said that, oh, I don't like that you end up buying big areas that have lots of fields in them. I quite like that. I feel like I'm buying a farm, not just buying a single field. You know, my farm feels grander for it, and I love that. I really, really do. Right, we need to bring this around the end. Get this last little bit. Oh, yeah, absolutely get this last little bit. There's a bit there as well. Right, that should do it. So, turn it, fold it, and we will head back to the yard. It is 5:45 in the evening in game. Which at this time of year is when it starts to get a little bit dark. But that is now two fields that have been ploughed. Yeah, one of them we do actually need to put some more lime on. Field 19, so field 19 there. I think that that's a bus stop. I think we're gonna end up making that into an arable field as well, as I said, and then field 29 here to our left. I think that's where we're gonna go and extend the farm into, to be honest. There is the space to do it. We might as well do it. Right, let's put this in the shed actually, because next time we're gonna be using this. I wonder why that didn't fold up. We're gonna be using this with the JCB. Right, let's fold it up. There we go. So down and disconnect. There we go. Interesting that it's not put the foot down. It's just sort of laid that on the ground there. Right, and then this can go in this shed with our JCB. And yeah, next time we're going to go and sort the front on that JCB. So yeah, I do like, I like that I've got the grill with the bit across there. This is a sharp looking tractor, only ruined by its bright yellow weight on the front. So we'll sort that out next time. Let's turn those off there. But we're going to leave a very rainy... Oh, really? Don't want flashing lights. There we go. So we're going to leave our very rainy Charwell here. And we'll be back on here next week. Next Tuesday will be our next video on this map. For now, though, all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos and live streams from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.